Hello, everyone. How are you doing? Welcome to Facts and Two Cents. This is Petal. Welcome to my very impromptu podcast. It's so impromptu that I am just here by myself talking to you. And well, hello, Karen M and Tara. How are you? This is our impromptu. Hi, Karen M. Hello, Tara. Don't ask me why everything is white and black. I have no idea. I have to check out what happened to all of my settings next time. But this is very impromptu, so I'm not sure what is going on with StreamYard at the moment. But welcome to all you in the chat, and welcome to you who are listening to us that are not in the chat at the moment. So, and anyone else who come in, we will say hi to them as we go along. But hello, 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 Mama Janet. How are you? Welcome. I love that photo. I just absolutely love that photo. So, anyways, welcome, guys. Uh, what is going on? Well, our faves are silent after last week's very, 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 very exciting week. We know tomorrow Netflix is coming out with Polo, although we have seen no promotions whatsoever. It's just really cool. It's really cool, but it's kind of weird. But I guess this is kind of how Netflix does things. I was hoping because Harry was going to be in New York, or at least he was in New York last week, he would do some promos. Nothing. We have seen nothing. So, so anyway, Polo is coming out tomorrow, but Tyler is promoting his new movie. And so it is a movie about, I think, this Black female battalion in World War II. Of course, a lot of the whether it's documentary or commentary on World War II, you will see none of this at all, because they basically ignored Black people serving. If you didn't go check, you would not realize that Black people were serving there. It's crazy. People give their lives and get no kind of notice or recognition at all. So Tyler Perry is doing this movie. Actually, it is out now, and I think it's also on Netflix. Netflix has been in my doghouse, so I have not been paying attention to what is on there. But I think it's also on Netflix. It stars Kerry Washington. Of course, we saw Tyler and Meghan at the Paley honors, the Paley Center honors that honored him last week on the 4th as well. We saw Kerry there with him. And also, Kerry got her star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame last week as well. So many things were happening last week. Oh my goodness. And Tyler was one of the people there, is one of her besties. And he spoke about, just how amazing she is and their friendship and all of that stuff. So all of that stuff. So anyway, so she's starring in that movie that Tyler wrote, directed, produced, as he always does. And so you can always go check it out on Netflix. I think Netflix is where it is. And so anyway, so Tyler, to promote this movie, at least somebody is promoting their movie. Boo to Harry and Meghan for not promoting this. Tyler is out there doing his stuff. But anyways, so one of the things, with promotions, they do interviews and all of that stuff, as we know. So Tyler did an interview with the Times in London, the Sunday Times, and it got a little bit prickly there. Because as we know, with anything with the UK, if you have any kind of connection, even if you've just seen them from a distance, and the British press contacts you, they don't care about what it is you're supposed to be promoting or whatever. The only reason they want to talk to you is because they want to know about Harry and Meghan. That's it. So everybody know that if you have any kind of connection, if you know them, if you've seen them, if you've talked to them, whatever, if any outlet from the British press contacts you, the only thing they really care about is, what do you think about the Sussexes? How do you know them? That's what they care about. They don't care about your film and anything else, no matter if they wrote about it or not. Case in point, this article. And if you haven't read this article, it's the Sunday Times. I actually read it as a regular, normal, talking about his life, his movies, his family. If you've read his book, Higher is Waiting, or if you've seen his documentary about his life, Maxine's Baby, It's all of that in there. And of course, they talk about Oprah and all of that stuff. And so I'm going to move my banner here so that way I can read the whole thing. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. Click the notification bell so you know when you drop a video. Please like and share the video. And please join the channel if you haven't. Thank you to those of you who already have. And anyway, so going back to Tyler. So part of, or the early part of the article, they obviously segue into his relationship with Harry and Meghan, about Meghan calling him when she was really down, when she was in Toronto in 2020, right before Canada closed the borders. And then Harry was still in the UK, trying to wrap things up to meet her there. And then a few days later, obviously, we know Canada closed the borders, all of that stuff because of COVID. And so, and Meghan talking about just how low she was and how talking to Tyler, even though she didn't know him, just really helped her, basically, just really helped her. And so this is a little part of the article when they started asking him, this is what it says. It says, how did he prepare the couple for their move to America? I asked. I didn't, he said. Any conversational intimacy evaporating. Meghan, and this is what Tyler says, quoting Tyler, Meghan is from California. She knows California well, so there was nothing to prepare them for. But I will say this, what I learned about mentioning them, because there is this insatiable appetite to know all about them, is that any question that is asked becomes the headline of anything I say. Why is the appetite so insatiable? And that's the reporter asking, why is the appetite so insatiable? And Tyler's like, well, you're from the UK. You tell me, he says. The headlines are just as plentiful in America, I say. And Tyler's like, you think? Well, you would know better than I would, because I'm not paying attention to that world. It's clearly time to cut. Next scene. Tyler is just so like, look, I am here to talk about my film. I'm not here to go back over Harry and Meghan. I'm here to talk about, a film that is just opening. Everybody knows the story already about him and Harry and Meghan and how it all came to be. It's all out there. Why are you still asking? And just as Tyler says, anything question that is asked, anything he says becomes the headline of anything he says. What happens? The Sunday Times went right ahead and proved him exactly right. And this is the headline of this article that covers so many things, including his films, his life, his mother, his father, Oprah, his studios, his movies, his TV shows, all of this stuff that this article covers. And what headline did they come up with? Exactly like what Tyler says. Tyler Perry, the billionaire who lent Harry and Meghan his LA home. And it's just like, but that is the least of what y'all covered. And it goes on, the subheading. He is the man who came to the couple's rescue after Megxit and became Lilibet's godfather. He also is the most powerful man in TV and film and the survivor of a brutal childhood. Meghan Agnew meets him in Washington. Notice how that is the end of the what is printed there. But the big headline is he's the billionaire who lent Harry and Meghan his LA home. And it's just like, way to just completely prove what exactly Tyler just said right. It's so hilarious. It's kind of like when Harry at the Deal Book Summit said, and he told Andrew that everything I say and you say is going to be twisted, and they're going to twist everything we say. And no sooner did he say that, all the British press basically went and twisted everything he said. It's like they just have a knack for just proving them right. And it's hilarious. But it's so funny to me. It's just like, you just went and proved him exactly what he said you'd do is exactly what you just did. So, Ghislaine, thank you so much for your super sticker. Thank you. And thank you to all of you who sent me super stickers or just donations. I've had a very, very busy last few days. If you notice, I haven't been on here. And so I haven't had a chance to go back through my comments. So if you sent me in there and I didn't respond yet, please know I've gotten so busy the last few days that I have not had a chance to go go through and respond to my comments, but I will be going through them and responding. So thank you in advance. So again, I apologize. Yes. And yes, Shirley, the British tabloids are so immature. They are so incredibly, like, I don't understand how these people get press pass. I don't understand how they get their jobs. I don't understand what the criteria for journalism is in the UK, because it really amazes me that people have these jobs and can refer to themselves as journalists. It is unbelievable to me. It's just like, y'all get paid to, like, I don't even understand this. And they're the ones that love to claim, like, no, we are journalists. It's just like, no, you're not. You're just paid hacks. Anyways, what else is going on? Our faves, apart from Tyler just being like, luck. And I love how it ended with the reporter realizing and reading the room. She's like, it's clearly time to cut. Next scene. So Tyler was not going to have it. So it's hilarious. But anyway, way to go, Tyler. See his movie if you'd like. That's come out. And yeah. So anyway, moving on to this article about Sentebale. As we know, Prince Harry was just a couple of months ago, early October, in Lesotho and South Africa, promoting Sentebale. He brought a group of people over with him, including this gentleman from Google. We also Keith Smith, whose gallery that they are just going to be hosting, or at least it opened already last Wednesday, just not open to the public yet. That's going to happen on the 14th. Well, Keith Smith, who owns that gallery, was also with him and his group in Southern Africa. And so they were there promoting, and of course Harry was here at the gallery opening for friends. All of it, the artwork and the purchase of artwork and donations, going to be supporting Sentebale. So this came out today from Sentebale, from this outlet called Third Sector. I'd never heard of them before today, but they have an exclusive of some update that's going on with Sentebale. It says, exclusive: the Duke of Sussex's charity shifts senior leadership to Southern Africa, for which I say, yay. It's time for these charities executives to be in the countries that they are representing, as opposed to being in the US or the UK, or in this case, the UK. So this is just two clips from the article. I'll post it in the community page so you can go back and read it. It says, the London-based chief executive of a Southern Africa youth charity co-founded by Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex, is to be replaced by an interim executive director tasked with delivering strategic transformation project, the charity announced today. Richard Miller, who had led Sentebale for the past 5 years, will step down in January. Said the change was the logical next step for the charity. He will be succeeded by Johannesburg-based Carmel Gillard, and that's her in the photo between Prince Ciso and Prince Harry there. So Carmel Gillard, who will start this month in the new role as executive director on an interim basis as she leads the charity through a process of transformation. And early next year, they're going to start looking for a permanent person that will fill that role. So in the interim, she is going to fill that role. But they're looking for people that are based in Southern Africa to fill that role. It is the logical next step for Sentebale, and the time is right for the shift to local leadership. Carmel is an incredible asset to the position Sentebale further as a leader in that region. In a joint statement, Prince Harry and Prince Ciso said, this shift reflects our continued commitment to be guided by voices from within the region we serve. We sincerely thank Richard for his pivotal role in steering our organization towards this important evolution. Sentebale said Miller would continue to work as a consultant in the international development space. So I think this is great news. I think all charitable organizations in Africa, no matter what country in Africa, need to have local leadership. It is, for me, yeah, it's really strange that so many of these organizations that their leadership are, especially in the UK. And part of it I understand because, Harry was in the UK, and it's not just Harry, other royal organization that they are patrons of and all of that stuff, their leadership is in the UK. So I think this is great. I think this is really a great step forward, and I'd like to see all of these organizations led by people who are underground there in whatever country. At least Carmel is in South Africa, and we saw Prince Harry in South Africa and Lesotho. And so it's really great. And here she is in Lesotho with them. And so it's great to see this transition into somebody underground there in Southern Africa. So I'm like, this is perfect. Get things away from the UK. And it further, for me, amplifies that Harry ain't going back to the UK. Now to get, Invictus away from the UK. That would be the next step. But everything else, seemed to be, because even Travelist is also, I think, away. I think is now in the US, and now Sentebale is firmly in Southern Africa. So this is good. This is very good. Just leave the UK with the UK charities, and everything else go to where they belong. So I think this is a good first step. I think this is a good step and a great step, a step in the right direction. Terry says, agree. It's a step in the right direction for Sentebale. Yeah, I believe so as well. So it's really cool. So good for them. Absolutely good for them. African people could take care of the business. We don't need the UK involved, especially not the UK involved. But that said, the director that was there did a great job in getting it to where it is. Now it's time to hand that over to the people underground in Southern Africa. So the great step. So good for them. And thank you, squaddies, for putting this together. And this was from Muriel on X. And I swear, it's a case of what we ordered and what we got, because they can't keep Prince Harry's name out of their mouths. Look at this headline. Sky News in Australia. They are clearly showing Prince William, because the whole thing is like Prince William is emerging as the article says there. It's basically quoting Russell Myers, lying Russell Myers from the Mirror. And they're like, the Daily Mirror editor Russell Myers claim Prince William is emerging into a statesman amid meeting with U.S. President-elect Donald Trump following the reopening of Notre Dame. And it's like, well, how long has he's been emerging for a long time into this statesman that y'all are desperately trying to make him into. And look at the headline. Deep down what they want. They want Prince Harry. It's like we ordered Prince Harry, but we're getting Prince William. And it's like, you see this all the time. I mean, that could be the case, or they just want clicks of people correcting them, and because that's not Prince William, that's Prince, or that, hey, you change your headline to Prince William, whatever. But it's kind of like, again, they're writing an article about Prince William, but they're thinking Prince Harry is what we ordered. Prince Harry is who we, not what, but who we ordered. And Prince Harry's over there like, hey. I love it. And it's even it's like that's French, right? Yeah, it's even in French. It's not only on their English version, it's on the French version. It's just like, oh Lord. William is probably like, I cannot catch a break. I just cannot catch a break. There I am, being a statesman and everything, or at least trying, and y'all have to put Prince Harry. Why? So very funny. Jeanette says Willie is trying too hard to fit in to compete with his brother Prince Hattie. Now it's Prince Hattie. I love it. I know what you mean, Jeanette. I know what you mean. I love it. What else is happening? On a more serious note, and I always try to not talk about this, because I don't want to talk about people's bodies, and I don't want to make, if nothing is going on, to talk about this. And I wait a long time when I see stuff like this. And I did the same thing with Prince Edward when he was grieving when Queen Elizabeth passed away for months and months and months. Prince Edward looked skeletal. And so I did an episode on it when after I saw it. And I mean, you couldn't help it. It's just right there. And it's just, I feel, I'm like, is there something wrong with Prince William? Is he going through some stuff? I mean, the picture on the far left is him a couple of days ago in Notre Dame meeting Trump. That's literally a photo, a snapshot or a little screenshot from a video meeting Trump. I don't know the picture, the inside picture, which event it was, but he doesn't look well. There is something going on with William. And, in Australia, he said it's been a really hard year. And everyone assumes he's talking about Kate, whatever Kate is supposed to be going through or whatever King Charles is going through. But I'm like, Kate, well, first, you know where I stand with that whole thing with Kate Middleton. But there is something going on with Prince William. He has lost so much weight. He looks skeletal. And it's something that the British press has been running away from and not really addressing. And someone even mentioned that there was I think it may be reporting on this meeting with Trump, that even a reporter at CNN was talking about how thin he is. And it's hard to miss because from what I've always seen of William, he was a healthy guy working out, good body on him and all of that stuff. And it just is very odd. I mean, and I thought about it. I'm like, if someone would have asked me, and you see the picture of Kate Middleton, that was this past week when they were meeting some king of somebody who came and visited them. If you were to ask me which one of these people I think, has cancer and who had chemo, Kate Middleton wouldn't be the one I would choose. And, looking at these images, and again, these are images from the last week. The inset one, the second photo, I don't remember what day that was, but it just, in the photo with him sitting there, actually, that is just a cut. I just edited that photo. That was meeting Trump. And literally, this is on their website at Kensington Royal. And it just, I'm like, there is something off. Now, he did look a little bit better, I would say, on that inset photo with him and Kate. When they met that king person who came and visited them, he does look a little bit better there. But the photo at the top of with him sitting, meeting Trump, was after that. And could it just be his profile pictures that just looking really awful? But whatever he is going through, I know the British press is not dealing with it, and they instead are trying to distract people with whatever they think is happening with the Sussexes. But it's just, I don't know. There's something going on. Either he is sick or he could be grieving. But again, his uncle, Prince Edward, looks just as skeletal. Well, actually, Edward looked worse. He was just like, his clothes was literally falling off his body. And I chalked it up to grieving because, we all grieve differently. And, I know from experience, we all grieve differently. And it seemed to really hit Prince Edward. And he, for months on end, now he's looking so much better. It's not, I don't know what his full health is, but he's looking a lot healthier than he looked right after Queen Betty passed. But William, man, I'm like, whatever is going on with William, it's like, so y'all need to address this because this is not good. Whatever the issue is, and again, I have no idea. I have no idea what's going on with him, but it's something that is so in your face that it's hard to miss. From someone who was once a healthy guy doing polo, working out, running around, to this skeletal person, I'm like, that ain't good. So anyway, again, I don't want to belabor someone's body, the way they look, but it's just something that you can't miss. It's just right in front of your face. So yeah, Rhonda said it might be the side effects of a tortured soul. That doesn't mean, hey, who knows? That could be it. That could be it. Who knows what he's tortured by? Jeanette says, yes, Joyce, the beard is to hide something. Yeah, it's just weird how he just grew that beard out. And it's just, if that beard wasn't there to make his face look fuller, heaven knows what it would look like. Because William has never really had a full beard. I mean, he had it when he was younger, but in the last how many years, he has not had one, and to just pop one up there, and it definitely hide some of the weight loss, but even with the beard he still looks very gaunt. And so yeah, whatever is going on in his soul is just, it seems to be eating him physically alive. And a lot of times, what's on your mind really does take a toll on your body. So who knows? Terry says, yeah, Willie is definitely going through something. He looks so thin and stressed. He does. And again, if you were to ask me which of these two, quote unquote, had cancer, Kate wouldn't be the one, because that picture is from her meeting that king was a few days ago. And look at Prince William. And I just, okay. Anyway, not to belabor that point, moving on. This is also interesting to me. Prince William, obviously, as you can see from the photo at the top, this is actually from Kensington Royal, their X feed. And so he met with, he was at Notre Dame. They're rededicating the church. As we know, a few years ago, it burnt down, or at least part of it got burnt. And so they redid it and all that stuff. And it says, this is what they posted: a wonderful event to celebrate the reopening of Notre Dame, Paris. It is an immense achievement to renovate such a beautiful and culturally important building. Thank you. And well done to everyone who has been part of the project. And also a pleasure to spend time with Emmanuel Macron, who is the president of France, and at real Donald Trump. And the funny thing is about this is, I remember when Trump visited the UK, when Harry and Meghan, I think it was in 2019, Meghan was pregnant and couldn't attend, obviously she was too pregnant. Harry attended, and William and Kate attended. But the narrative there was that William and Kate didn't want to take photos with Trump. So I don't think there was any specific photos with Trump. I don't even think they mentioned Trump when they posted on their Kensington Royal. And I have to go back, because I'm not doing that today. That's just take too much time to go back at that time to see what exactly it is they posted that day about that state visit. But I do remember it not having them tagging at real Donald Trump in that post. And it was more like they didn't want to it was like they had to be there and they didn't want to be there. And that was the kind of narrative that they had. So it's very interesting to see them posted, and not only posted, tagging Trump. And so one of the things I've learned in the last few days, and again, I never paid attention to the royals before Meghan, so I didn't know a lot of this stuff was happening with Donald Trump and what he said about Kate Middleton and what he said about Princess Diana. I was like, really? And so apparently, and these were posts, different squaddies were posting these things. And I was like, oh my goodness, I didn't know that was there. And so apparently Charles Spencer posted this last March. As you can see the date at the bottom, Charles Spencer is Princess Diana's brother, Earl Spencer. It says, surprising to hear that Donald Trump is apparently claiming that my late sister wanted to kiss his booty, since the one time she mentioned him to me when he was using her good name to sell some real estate in New York. She clearly viewed him as worse than an anal fisher. And so Charles Spencer is not feeling Donald Trump and whatever it is he was saying at the time about Princess Diana. And I was just like, I hadn't even no idea that Trump has any kind of anything with Princess, or even saying stuff about Princess Diana. And so this is from 2015. It says in 2015, well, this is a Newsweek article. It says in 2015, British journalist Selena Scott, who interviewed Trump in the 90s and was a friend of Diana, said that Trump pursued the princess after her separation from Prince Charles. He bombarded Diana at Kensington Palace with massive bouquets of flowers, each worth hundreds of pounds. Scott wrote in an article for the Sunday Times, Trump clearly saw Diana as the ultimate trophy wife. I was just like, what? I was just like, just the thought of Donald Trump as a stepfather to Prince Harry, I can't even, I was like, what? And not only that, if you see the middle one, it says, Prince William furious at Donald Trump for his Kate Middleton nude sunbathing claims. Donald Trump said that the princess only had herself to blame. If you remember when I think they were newlyweds and they were, I guess, on their honeymoon or something, and Kate was sunbathing topless somewhere, and these photographers used long lens cameras to photograph her topless. And there are other posts, actual Donald Trump posts, basically blaming Kate. Like, who wouldn't have photographed her topless and made a lot of money out of it? I mean, this is what he posted. Literally, the post is still up on X. It's still up. And so it's really crazy. And then also, in the last post there says, Donald Trump once boasted that he could have slept with Princess Diana. The US president made a series of lewd comments about her shortly after her death in 1997. You can't tell me that Prince William and his people don't know this sort of thing. And I just posted these 3 or 4. There are tons of this kind of stuff. I mean, after a while, I felt like, oh my God, I got to wash my eyes out from seeing the things that this man posted about Prince William's mother. And to see the joy and glee with which this man is now meeting, as you can see, smiling and posting. And not only that, tagging Donald Trump. And all of a sudden, Prince William is this global statesman because he sat there having, conversation. Like this is where they were at the British Embassy. Trump met him at the British Embassy in Paris. And it's just things that make you go, huh. Okay, so you don't really care what this man said about your mother. You don't care about what he said about your wife. As long as meeting him help you to act like some global statesman that you're in your mind you think you need to be. And I was like, okay, very interesting. Just like, for me, I'm thinking, if I were Kate, like, what would I be thinking? And also people were asking, well, it's very interesting that they chose William to go and not King Charles. Some people have claimed like, oh, maybe this is a tactic to intimidate Harry because, Trump coming into office and all of that nonsense. And again, to which I say, Prince Harry and Meghan came to the US when Trump was in office. So I don't know why that is even a narrative, but apparently that is. People seem to forget that Trump was in office when Harry and Meghan came, in 2020. So it's just like, anyway, but it's interesting to me, the choices that he makes to make himself into this global statesperson that he's just not. And interesting that they use the photo where he looks skeletal. And it's just, I don't understand the choices that they make in Kensington Palace. I totally don't understand it. So yeah, it's just, yeah. Lottie says there's nothing wrong with William. He's under a lot of stress because he's so evil. Until he goes to his brother and sister-in-law, he will never find peace. Hear, hear. We say that all the time, coming from the ancestors. Thank you, Lottie. So yeah. Joy says there are old articles of Trump made about Diana, very easy to find. Willie nor his staff don't checking anything. I'm telling you, it's unbelievable to me that they didn't do even back when he got there in 2019, because again, the narrative back then is that the younger royals like Harry or Kate and William at the time, because they were all at that event when he visited, that they didn't really want to be there. They had to be there because it's a state visit and the Queen said you had to be there, so you just had to be there. But all of a sudden this time, the way how the British press is reporting it, it's like sucking up to Donald Trump is a good thing now. It's just like, but remember when y'all were doing, never mind. This is who they are. Anyway, moving on. It's craziness. Utter craziness. What else is happening? I'm telling you. Staying on Prince William and his ridiculousness with the British press. Rebecca English, and I remember this happening in real time a few days ago, which was on the 6th. Prince Harry was in New York, so of course Prince William had to go out there and, let the world see that, well, I'm doing stuff too. So Rebecca English At least, yes, you can see exclusive on Mail Online today. My story about how Prince William quietly, and that's the buzzword there, that's the word that's doing all the heavy lifting there. Prince William's quietly turned up to the passage yesterday to serve Christmas dinner. No media present, but I was contacted by lovely Leo, who was so impressed by William's sincerity and respect that he wanted people to know. And so she posted that, and of course, people went under her post. And when I saw that, I was like, okay, I want to see if people really believe that what Rebecca English just posted, that somehow William is at this place, and nobody knew, and because it was the day before, the 5th, and nobody knew about it. And out of nowhere, this lovely Leo person who just happened to be there, or probably work for the passage or something. How he happened to be there, I have no idea. But this lovely Leo, out of nowhere, knew her phone number or her email to contact her. The one royal reporter who is just kiss William and Kate's feet and is always at their beck and call, who is the one that anytime they want any kind of publicity out there, it's Rebecca English. And so this random person just magically got her number or her email to magically just send all these photos and videos of her, just because William was there and he was so sincere and he just wanted people to know. And of course, nobody bought it, because I was like, you people have to be really stupid to buy that. Even their own sycophants would be really stupid to buy it. So, of course, people went under her post and were challenging her like, this is nonsense. First of all, we don't believe that this is true at all. That one, that there was no press, and two, that Leo is just some random guy to all of a sudden, out of all the reporters in the UK, will find the one that Kensington Palace always go to leak stuff. Then they would find you, of all people, of all the press that are out there. And so she went under the post and she started defending Leo. And she's like, please do read the article properly. I made clear that there was no media present, but one wonderful guy contacted me as he was so impressed by Prince William's sincerity and the way in which he interacted with the people he met there, which with such respect that he wanted people to know about it. So she's writing about this lovely guy named Leo and this. So when she is defending her article, because nobody is believing her, Leo, who is his handle is London Lad 85, lovely Leo jumped under her post and started like, no. Yeah, I know. It's just because I saw how great he was and I just wanted people to know it's innocent. There was nothing there. It was just, he was just a nice guy. And he was defending, because this whole article also featured him. And also, I think that's him also at the top there with Prince William. And it was just this so-called innocent thing. So innocent thing. And people kept pushing back. And lo and behold, what came out of this? Same event, you can see William with his apron. David LS6 somehow got this photo, and as you can see circled in red, William's press team that he took with him. You see the camera right there on the photographer, and he's probably doing some stills and also videography. On the other gentleman on the left, you can't see the camera really well because it's sort of blended into the gentleman in the black next to William, but you can see clearly from the straps on his shoulder, the black gentleman on the left there, and you can see from his shoulder strap, the same as the gentleman on the right with the camera. These are people shooting, whether it's stills or videography. And so and this is the people. So now that this is turned up and people are like, so David LS6 says, so much for turning up with no press. And at the bottom, 4scene1 posted, at London Lad 85, which is lovely Leo over there with Prince William. Lovely Leo has gone private now. Was sold by Becky English as someone just being there. And he even made a tweet that out of pure joy, he contacted her. Now look at this PR mess. Exactly. And as you can see, lovely Leo Scanlon on the far right there has now gone private. He has closed down his, well, not closed it down, but turned it private. So no one can call him out for his lies. I don't know why they keep doing this nonsense. It's kind of like people. This is the year of our Lord 2024. You think people are not going to find this? You're talking about the internet. You're talking about social media. People are not stupid. I cannot believe they tried to pull this nonsense in the year of our Lord 2024. We saw this thing, we saw the same nonsense happen. Was it last year or the year before when William went out to do the homeless thing and they were claiming, like, oh no, it's just some random person on the street that just happened along to see William selling those street news. Well, in the UK, in the US was street news. In the UK, I forgot the name of the paper that the homeless organization give to homeless people to sell on the street. And William just happened to be there. I mean, he turned up and he was selling with one of the guys who he claimed, quote unquote, is now his quote unquote friend. And someone, just random person, happened upon the scene and, you know, taken a photo of William. Only a few days later, not even a few days, probably a day later, to have pictures turned up with his Williams camera team, his press team, with their cameras and videos, videotaping the whole thing. And now this thing that was supposedly private is now, there are photos and pictures, I think, all also on Kensington Palace's website. This thing that Rebecca English was claiming was this thing that was, quietly done. It nobody would have known. No press was there. And it's just little Leo, sweet little Leo, who was so kind enough to share with the world that our Prince William, out of the kindness of his heart, was just there. And it's just like, they really do believe people are stupid. They really do. And you know what? A lot of their fans, which are really royalists, who are just, they really do behave like they're stupid. I guess they really believe that they would believe that nonsense. And they did not count on being fact checked, and they did not count on people pushing back as they have. Now, I didn't even bother with it when I saw the thing, when it was happening in real time. I was just like, oh, forget it. We know what this is. And lo and behold, of course, because none of this stuff, Kensington Palace do this stuff, none of this stuff is ever private. It is there for people, for them to take photos of, because why? It's, that's what they're about. It's not about the work. It's about people, having these photos there for the people to think, oh, they're doing such great work. It's not about the work. It's for publicity for them. So why would they go without a camera? Why would they go without a videography, without videographers there and photographers there? And it's just like, people, all you had to do was just put the photos out. Nobody would have cared, because we all know that's what you do. But the fact that you're trying to claim that, oh, no, it's out of his goodness of his heart. And now look at the PR mess. And now poor little Leo is now protected his and gone private on X. All of this because y'all chose to lie. Unbelievable. Utterly unbelievable. And finally, someone who is not pretending there's no camera there. Our fave, who was on the red carpet, of course, and a lovely lady in red, who I never did get her name. She is actually from the Paley Center that I learned. Thank you, squaddies, who let me know. Paley Center, they have, up until a couple of days ago, they're still posting about this event. And it's like, our Paley Honors tribute to Tyler Perry, who was an unforgettable and inspirational evening. Here are some of the most memorable moments from this once in a lifetime event. And so, yes, we see Meghan and Carrie and Oprah and just Tyler and lady from Paley Center. So absolutely wonderful. People who aren't pretending there are no cameras there. People who aren't pretending they're not on a red carpet. People who are serving and giving back and are not pretending. They don't have to pretend that it's anything other than what it is. So anyways, that's all I got on this. The last few days, I've also been doing this research on what happened to Thomas Kingston. I have to do it. I actually recorded it and then have to re-record it because I made some mistakes on it. So I will be posting that soon. So anyways, let me stay in the chat for a few and see what you guys are saying. But yes, the nonsense of the royal family knows no bounds. I don't know how people I don't know how people follow them with a straight face. It's craziness. Like Paulette is like, William, anything for a photo op. They both look ridiculous and disgusting. I mean, Rebecca English should know by now. I mean, remember when Kate was supposedly in that hospital, the same hospital that King Charles was in, and people were people were commenting over and over and over online about the fact that if Kate is in that hospital, how come nobody sees William or has seen William going to visit her other than that one time? What was it? A couple of days, I think, after she was supposedly in that hospital. And people were bringing that over and over. And the same Rebecca English would then go on one of those shows, and I think one of our squaddies posted a clip of her saying on one of those podcasts that she does, claiming that she, the only person in the world, was on her way to I guess a medical appointment or something, and on her way to the appointment, she saw Prince William pass by on his way to the hospital. No one else in the world saw this at all but Rebecca English. She could confirm that, yes, Prince William has visited Kate because she, the only person in the world, saw him go by when she was going to her appointment. No one else in the world could confirm this but her. And of course, she was called out for her nonsense. But it was just like, y'all, you really think people are stupid? Really think people are stupid? Really, seriously, they really think people are stupid. Joke is definitely on them because nobody is buying it. It is nonsense. Thank you, Helen. The homeless paper is the big issue. That's right. So it's the big issue that is called in the UK. In the US, it was called Street News. I don't even know if Street News is there anymore because I haven't seen it in a while. So I don't know if it's still there. And it's the same. It's the same model. They, homeless people. They're given those papers to sell it. But the thing about those papers is that these people get pennies. They don't maybe make much of anything off of selling these paper. So they used to sell it in the outside, in the subways, on the trains, whatever. I haven't seen it in a while, so I don't know that it's still there, but that's what it's called in the US, at least in New York. I don't know if it's in other places. So yeah. Karen Warner, hello, Karen says, I watched the Notre Dame opening on the French channel and repeatedly said that William went in place of someone from the government who received the invitation. Oh, I didn't know that because what people were saying that he replaced King Charles. So, okay, could it have been Keir Starmer or something? And that he went in replace of, because it was very last minute when they said that he was going to go, I think a couple of days before the event. So I would imagine that somebody else had that invitation and he was, sent last minute. But according to the British tabloids or Russell Myers, that makes him, global ambassador. Lord, just crazy. Let's see. Lottie says Joyce William is trying to get something started between Harry and the US, but little that he knows, Trump can't do a darn thing to Harry. I think that's one of the things that for people who are like, oh, they're going to kick Harry out and all this nonsense. The judge who decided that Prince Harry's immigration papers rightly will not be, made public is a judge that Donald Trump chose. Donald Trump put him where he is. And that is the judge that said, no, Harry's, immigration papers are going to remain private. So I don't really understand why this narrative is even a thing. The judge is from Trump. And the judge from Trump said no. It's like, what are you going to do? It's craziness. Unbelievable. So Karen is like, William wasn't chosen to go. He begged to go. The invitation for Notre Dame opening was sent to the government, not the monarchy. The French news announced. Oh, there you go. Thank you, Karen, for this. I didn't know that. So thank you. Wow, it's the French government that was invited, not the monarchy. So I guess William begged to go. Who knows? Unbelievable. Hello, Veronica. How are you? Happy you're here. So let's see what else is down here. Um, I think I totally agree. Patricia Ann says he should not take side pictures. I totally agree. Can the profile photos, you know, because they're not doing him any favors. Because I mean, the front on picture making me look a little bit better, although some of them don't. But at least the one when they welcome in that king from wherever he was coming from, he looked a little bit better. But again, the ones with the few days later with Trump didn't, and it's just weird. Let's see. What else you guys are saying? Oh, really? Helen says, Petal, Thomas Kingston's inquest happened 6 miles from where I live. If I would have known, I would have inquired if I could have attended. Oh, wow. Yeah, it happened last week. And I have a whole episode. I literally recorded the episode, and the recording was a mess only because I sort of messed it up. And so I have to re-record it. And so I'm thinking later tonight when I get back home, I re-record it and post it tomorrow. And it's just an investigation of what happened, what they're saying happened. It's very interesting, some of the things, the things you learn about it. And it's just like, but it still makes you go, really, is that really the story? So yeah, so I will re-record it tonight. And I'm so mad at myself. Spent all this time recording this thing, and then I just made a mess of it. So I will re-record it. And and I'm not doing it live because again, I don't want to make a mess of it. I could when I record it, I could go back and sort of edit if I make a mistake. So I don't want, especially with something like this, I want to make sure that what I'm saying is literally what it says. So anyways, I will re-record tonight and post tomorrow. So fingers crossed that's what's gonna happen. So yes. But yeah, I would have wished you would have gone to sort of get to get sort of like the firsthand knowledge of what was said. I can only we can only rely on what the press says, and of course the British press especially, and we know what their reporting is like. And so ever since the inquest and that day of that they reported about it, everyone else seemed to have just dropped it, and there's nothing further. And it's just like, it's very interesting. So I can't wait for you guys to hear it. You can let me know what you think. Let's see what else you guys are saying. That's all I got, by the way. I don't have anything else about our faves. They're quiet, we're happy, just chill wherever you are. Again, tomorrow Polo is there. You guys are gonna have to tell me about Polo, because again, as I said, I am personally boycotting Netflix at the moment. So you guys can tell me what you think. I'm looking forward to some of you maybe coming online and telling me and sharing with us what you think about the episodes. So yes. Let's see. Lottie says, I hope William doesn't think that he could be friends with Trump. It's so funny. Dr. Shola posted a clip of her. She was on one of those talk shows, and I think it was Good Morning. What is it? Good Morning Britain? I think it was Good Morning Britain that she was on, and I could post a link in our community page because she posted in an axe where she was talking about it. And I think Robert Hardman had gone on there to, I guess, basically tout William being, global ambassador kind of thing, or global statesman, whatever. And Shola just sort of broke it down, and she just basically said it what it is. It's like Prince William, there is no impact that William could have on Trump. If there is an issue with the UK and it's either Trump way of doing things or the UK way of doing things, Trump will always win out. And she was talking about what quote unquote impact the royal family could have on Trump. And she basically says like the royal family is like all pump and no, and no substance, and they're all about flattery and all of that stuff, and that's just basically flattering Trump. That's why they're there. They have no tangible impact that they can really make on Trump. And it was so good. I mean, when Shola was done, even the host was trying to, but what about the way Trump was showing and saying that he is impressed or something with the royal family, and Shola just broke it all down. And by the end of it, they kind of agreed with Shola that the royal family really, in a sense, they really cannot impact anything that Trump is. And this notion that they have this special relationship with the US is nonsense. It's if the US says jump, the UK says how high. It doesn't matter what the US says. It's like they cannot do anything if the US doesn't want them to. So this ridiculous notion of that you have a special relationship to somebody who is essentially your master is ridiculous. You're not friends at all. They're quote unquote allies in the sense that they have to do everything the United States says. And so Shola was just, just laid it out. And well, I didn't hear what Robert Hartman had to say because it basically shut them out because they were there like touting this special relationship and how Prince William. It's like really, it is ridiculous. So yeah, it was like she just shut them out, and I love it. So I will post that link to Shola's comments on that show. Very interesting. Let's see. Cookies and Cream says, don't be surprised if and when the Tangerine Man starts attacking the Sussexes, particularly Meghan. Don't think Sir Pegalot didn't ask him to start doing it. I don't put anything past that devious family. I mean, I don't put anything past them at all. I mean, it wouldn't be the first time, and I'm assuming it wouldn't be, it's not the, it wouldn't be the first time, and it won't be the last time he did it, that Trump would be attacking, especially Meghan. So yeah, that's Trump. And so nothing he does, especially in terms of this, would be surprising to me. I remember right after the election, some Trumpers went to Montecito driving through, and some Republican senator posted like, oh, look at these people who are driving through Montecito in Harry and Meghan and Oprah country. So yeah, this is right what they would do. This is totally what they would do. So yeah, and yeah. I totally expect that. And don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if we find out at some point exactly what William and Trump talks about, because Trump has a big mouth. He doesn't have filters. It's gonna eventually come out what William says to him, especially if William says something that Trump doesn't like, because then he exposes. We've seen that in so many situations, So yeah, don't be surprised. I'm not. Annie says Trump will eventually turn on the royals too because he turns on everybody. Look at Rudy Giuliani. Yes, exactly. Rudy Giuliani is that cautionary tale when anybody in a relationship with Trump. Now Rudy Giuliani is broke. He's lost, I think, his home, his business. His life is such a mess, all because of that relationship. And these people, they don't learn. They just don't learn. So yeah. Yeah, so very interesting. Let's see a couple more before we end. Anything else before we end? Scrolling down. Karen Warner said, maybe William was asking Trump for help with his homeless thing. William was sucking up to Trump, trying to line up with Prince Harry and world leaders, but Prince Harry would say to William, have that. Look, hey, who knows? But it would be very interesting that would be what they talk about. I don't think so. I seriously don't think so. But, you never know. Again, with Trump, eventually it will come out because he doesn't have filters. It will come right out. So, yeah, very interesting. Anyway, guys, that's it. That's all I got. Thank you so much for hanging out with me for the last, almost an hour. That went by fast. Yes, Cookies and Cream final. And on a positive note, everyone, please continue to pray for the Sussexes, each other, and the world. Great way to end this. Thank you so much, Cookies and Cream, our awesome moderator. Thank you to our the other moderators, Lydia, Trish, Nelly, Karen M, and Black Queen, along with Cookies and Cream. Thank you so much, guys, for everything you do to make our channel stay safe. Thank you so much to our 2 Cents crew who support the channel on a monthly basis. I appreciate you so much. And to all of you in the chat who support our channel as well. Thank you, thank you, thank you so very much. Anyway, guys, have a great day, and I will chat with you next time. Bye.